guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a few tips that I found useful in getting your axle. If you guys didn't know, I am a figure skater, and if you are also part of the figure skating community, make sure to comment below your club and subscribe to the channel. Tip number 1 is to not turn your head. One of the most common mistakes I see, and I do actually still, and it's still something I'm trying to correct myself, is people turn their head as they're jumping, and it feels like it's going to help with the rotation, but it actually doesn't. It just makes you swingy and throws you way off your axis, and then you have a tilt and you're like, what is happening? I can't feel my head turning, and you're just really confused. It's just annoying. Most of the time people can't feel it. You end up getting in the habit of it. You have to work really hard to get out of the habit. So while you're learning it, just so you know, do not turn your head. You can also record yourself doing your axle so that you can see what's actually happening, and if you are turning your head, so you can apply the corrections. Tip number 2 is to always lift your knee higher on your takeoff. This will get you more height and you'll be able to finish the rotation because you have more time to do it. Tip number 3 is to not focus on the outcome and focus on the takeoff and what you do to build up to the outcome. In other words, don't focus on landing the jump, but focus on applying the corrections to your takeoff that you need to land the jump. If you do everything right in the beginning, the landing will just naturally happen. You don't even have to think about it. You just have to think about the beginning of the jump. I think this has been one of the most useful tips I've ever heard in my skating. It allows me to not stress about landing it or not, because if you're trying it the right way, the landing will eventually happen. If you're only focused on trying to land the jump, you're more likely to just fall into bad habits because you're only trying to make the jump happen, and then when you get to higher levels, like if you're working on doubles and then you try triples with that same bad habit, it's not gonna work. You have to go back and correct. So just focus on the takeoff, not the landing. Tip number 4 is to only add speed after you land the axle. Now, if your coach says otherwise, follow your coach. They probably know better and what's best for you and your skating. But in my personal experience, I found that landing the jump from a standstill first and then adding speed is actually better, because if you can do the jump from standstill, you can do it anywhere. Also, if you do it from standstill, you have more opportunity to actually learn what goes into making the jump good instead of relying on speed to carry you through, because then the jump is going to be more consistent. And finally, tip number 5 is to repeat it over and over and over again. Now, I know that everyone in the figure skating community that has worked on their axle at least for a month has heard that 1,000 times, and I'm going to tell you one more time because it is important to build muscle memory, and so your muscles just know what to do, because every single time you do it, it's building a connection that gets stronger and stronger and stronger between your brain and your muscles, and your muscles are slowly learning what to do. Keep repeating it over and over and over and over and over again until your muscles get the feel, and then you land it one day. Anyways, guys, that's it. Thank you so much to all of you out there, and have a nice day and happy jumping.